Except with them hands, with them holes, with them throws, you know what I'm saying? Cecil.
But I said, you know what? She's a black girl, trying to make it in New York. Let me support her. So my false pretense was helping her because she was a black young woman trying to make it in New York. And I didn't want to be one of those, black people that hate their own. But it was a false pretense that I made my decision on. This is why today I don't make decisions based upon these polarizing opinions. Oh, I'm pro black. No, I'm not. No, 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 no. I'm pro this, I'm pro that, I'm pro this, I'm pro that. All these polarizing opinions, they all come with agendas. And that's the hard lesson I learned. So,
I tell people sometimes that the reason why I teach at the community centers is because I have what I call residual civil rights era guilt. That's because when I was born, it was right after the civil rights era. So we grew up hearing all kinds of stuff about how black people were denied this and how we need to do that. And we have to be twice as good to get half as far and all this other stuff. And how, when we're able, we need to help the community. So I have that beat into me probably ever since I could, breathe, wear a diaper up until now. So I definitely have that floating around in the background. But I can tell you, that's all fine and dandy. And the community centers that I'm teaching at are in predominantly African American areas. But I'm not going to promote you to black belt just because you're a black person. I'm sorry. I'm not going to do that. I don't really know of any instructor that does. That's going to promote you just because you're whatever. The most I could say that I may have seen is maybe when you're hanging out informally, people might gravitate towards each other a little more because of that, because of their shared ethnicity. But that's not going to really help you in the martial arts. Not anybody I've trained. I've trained with black people, white people, Asian people. If you want to get the affinity and favor of your instructor, you're just going to have to work. And that's the way I do it. You have to work. It's not going to be pro nothing. You're going to have to be pro practice. That's how I do it. You got to be pro practice. You got to be pro stretching. You got to be pro, yes, I remember what my forms are. You got to be pro, I follow directions. You got to be pro, I'm going to help out the other students that come into class because they need my help. That's what you got to be pro. You got to be professional. You know what I mean? And that doesn't mean we're going to be all stuffy and everything like that. No. You got to be professional. You have to be proficient. Okay? Those are the pros that you need to be in order to advance with me. Because that's me following tradition. I say I'm not a traditionalist, but I'm still going to carry with me the stuff I was taught. And the stuff I was taught before I decided to do my own style, it was just that. You got to be pro, all right. You got to be proactive. You got to be proficient. You got to be professional. And then you will be provided more things to work on. But I get it, I know I'm probably coming off a little hard, but I understand how she feels because, again, if you've come up, if you come up post civil rights era, you may have heard something like that. And I think she's a lot younger than me, but that's what people were taught. But hey, that's not gonna cut in the real world. You got to be good, especially when it comes to the martial arts. I suspect, I don't know, because I wasn't there. But from what I've heard, it sounds like the martial arts was the first place to integrate in America. So there you go. That means that not that I didn't hear or read about issues that happened, but it seems like in the martial arts, People were just trying to keep it pushing, keep it moving forward, and really make it like Dr. King's dream, where you judge by the content of your character rather than the color of your skin. So if you train with me, I'm definitely not one of those black people that hate my own, but I'm also not one of those black people that hate not my own either. If you want to train with me, you want to train me, train with me, train under me, train beside me, train diagonal to me, whatever. You just got to do what you do. Okay? That's all I'm saying. It's no agendas other than the agenda of everybody trying to get better and share what we know. Okay? You got to be pro that. Peace. Oh, and one more thing. Because I do have sort of a weird bent. If you have any stories about how you've been burned because you let that bleeding heart bleed a little bit and it bled you in the wrong direction, please put a link to it below if you make a video out of it or share it in the comments section. If I get enough of those, I'll read them out in a future video. Peace.